How did you first meet Biggie?
I first met Biggie because Biggie was getting signed. He wasn't when I first met Biggie. He wasn't signed to Bad Boy yet. He was like coming up, and I started hearing like freestyles on like demo tapes, and because Puff actually said to me that he was working with a new artist called Biggie or Notorious B.I.G. And I was kind of like we started hearing them on them remixes, like the Mary J. Blige, and then they had another version with Grand Puba, and I was like, yo, Biggie's this dude is sick, like crazy. And then I used to be doing a lot of parties in Virginia at the time, like Virginia State Universities, Norfolk Universities, Richmond. I was always down there, and there was a promoter. Shout to Kuda Love, who had For Real Entertainment, who had Nelly and a few other artists. He was doing parties in Virginia at that time, and he wanted to get Biggie down there. So I was trying to find a way to get to Biggie or Big. My man Kuda Love wanna book you to do a show down there. I'm gonna be the DJ, the artist DJ thing, connect, and we started doing a couple of shows down there, and that's how me and him got cool. He started coming uptown to my studio, and we would smoke weed and talk about he about to get a deal, and those were the early days.
So y'all met, y'all started kicking it. What happened after that? After you met Biggie, did y'all get some work in? Did y'all collab?
Well, he wanted to get 2 tracks from me. He gave me he was before he got the deal. He said that he liked the 2 tracks, so he gave me before he finalized this deal. He was like, I'm gonna get this 2 tracks from you. So I gave him the tracks, but he never officially used the track. But he gave me 10,000 for him out of his own pocket, and that kind of gave me the funds to go buy me a Trinity at that time, the Trinity keyboard and an MPC 60. But he never used the tracks because he said that Puff wasn't gonna use the tracks.
So how did you first meet Tupac? How was that like? You meeting Tupac for the first time?
Through Biggie. Biggie was opening up for Tupac at that time, and he wanted me to come down there and support him. I forgot what club it was, but I remember Biggie was like, yo, G, yo, come down there and support me. And I went down there, and he was opening up for Pac because he told me. So, and at that time, I didn't know Pac. You know what I mean? I would just knew of him through like the song I Get Around and all of the movies. So I was like amped up to meet him. I was like, oh, this is going to be big. Biggie and I'm going to meet both of them, and so Biggie was telling Pac about me. He was like, yo, you need to fuck my man Ron G, on the mixtape shit. So that was my first intro to me and Pac. When I saw him at the club, I had a manager at the time named Big Light, and we ran up on Pac. Like, yo, Pac, yo, I'm Ron G. Oh, shit, you Ron G. Oh, yo, I heard a lot about you through Biggie, man. And that's how I met him. And I posted that picture. It's on my IG at Legendary DJ Ron G. I just posted that picture maybe a few weeks ago. Me, Jaji Joyce, and I forgot there's another dude in there. I forgot his name. He's from Harlem too. And they just sent me that picture after like 20 something, 30 something years, 20 something years. They's like, Ron, got this picture of you and Tupac, and it incredible. That made my day, to be honest, because I was like, oh shit. I had a picture with Biggie, but forgot I had a picture with Tupac.
Yeah, I got to check that out. So you met Biggie. Biggie introduced you to Tupac. From there, what is some of the work you and Tupac did after that?
Well, he came to my studio because I was calling him for a while. He was like, yo, I'm uptown. And he was shooting a movie in Rucker, which is right across the street where I lived at. But at that time, I wasn't living there. I was living on Riverside Drive, which is by the water. It's like a couple of blocks up the hill. So, and I was calling him. My manager was calling him. He's both like, yo, Pop, you got to come to the studio, man. Come on, man. Drop 16. And that was my thing. Drop 16 on that mixtape. And he was like, yo. But he didn't answer for a while. He didn't answer for maybe like a week and a half or 2 weeks. And then one day I called him and he picked up. He's like, yo, I'm going to come through. I'm going to come through. I gave him my address. No lie. He came right to my crib. Him, Stretch, and it was like 2 other dudes.
Right, and that was the same day of the Quad Studios incident, right?
Yeah. That was the same
So
day.
give me a detailed account of everything that happened that day, my man, because a lot of people know you from the mixtapes, but when your name comes up to some people, the first thing they think about is the interview Tupac did while he was in prison with Vibe magazine. And he talks about how he was at show house and he was recording the song for your mixtape and how he was doing it for free. And Jimmy Henchman, he kept paging him, asking him to go to Quad Studios to record a song with Little Sean. So give me a detailed account, my man, of everything that took place leading up to Tupac leaving your house to go to Quad Studios.
All right, so at that time we all smokers. Just in case you didn't know what we smoking on, we smoking on that chocolate top. It wasn't none of this fruit berry shit that's going on now. But at that time, we was smoking, we was vibing. He came in the studio, and we were shocked, to be honest, from the knock on the door, open the door, and it's Tupac. So, and it was just at that time it was just me and my manager in the studio, and we came in there, and he was like, "Yo, did you do the beat yet?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't." You know what I mean? I wasn't sure you was gonna come. So once you got here, I worked on the beat within like a 40 minutes or 30 minutes, and I remember looking at the news, and I knew he was going through a lot of trouble, a lot of negative energy, police, court cases. So I wanted to kind of accommodate what he was going through, even though it was negative. I wanted to make a track based around something that he's experiencing at the time. It motivated him to kind of like come up with the song or the freestyle. So I had put Amalanche through the song. I took the loop from Sly and the Family Stone, with that same drum pattern that Dr. Dre used for Deep Cover. Right. And in the beginning of it, I was going, "You got that? You got that?" Because I was trying to, for people that don't know what I was saying in that, and that's the original, and I still have all my masters for everything. I was saying, do you got that? Because I was like, in my mind, visioning that I'm handing somebody my mixtape, or they asking me for my mixtape, and when they put it in, they was gonna hear Tupac. So through the whole beat, I had Ambulance running, and then I played a little bass line, and he heard it and was like, "Oh shit, man, you're Ron G, you that nigga." He was like, "Yo, give me 15 minutes." He went in my kitchen, wrote the rhyme. I started writing the rhyme. He didn't finish it yet. He was starting to write. So all of a sudden he started getting calls and texts and all that. And he didn't tell us who it was, But we could see that he was kind of mentally troubled a tiny bit. You know what I mean? So maybe between that, them texts or phone calls he was getting, or beeps, because I think at that time it was a beep. And the phone calls he was getting, he kept looking at the phone, along with the track that I gave him, made him come up with that rhyme that he came up with. And the rhyme was something like this: "Tell me if you feel me. I think niggas just trying to kill me, picturing pistols, spitting hollow points till they dream of keeping it real. And even if I can conceal my criminal thoughts, preoccupied with keep it still, see niggas is false. Sitting in court turned snitches that used to be real, but now they petrified bitches. I'm trying to be strong. They sending armies out to bomb me. Listen to Ron, the only DJ that could call me, constantly on. For my firepower keep me warm. I'm trapped in the storm. So fuck the world till I'm gone. Bitches be warned. You get torn, you be warned. I'm busting a Giuliani for rubbing my niggas wrong. Bitches, and it went on from there. But so I always was confused whether he said Ron, you're the only DJ that could call me or call me. But he said call me. But I always would say call, because I felt like I was the only DJ that could call Tupac. So
right.
After that, he dropped his vocals, and when he laid that down, a few minutes after that, I noticed he had some weapons on him, and I ain't really tell nobody this. You know what I mean? So this is only strictly for the art of dialogue. He had some weapons, and all I know is that he just seemed troubled. So when he left, I was just like, "Yo, Pac, yo, thank you. He was making sure he had boys with him. They was all good. So I don't know where he went after that. But all I know is that I couldn't wait to mix that song down. And Stretch had laid his vocals on there too. And a lot of people don't realize that Stretch was on there too. You know what I mean? And like I said, I got that original verse an original song. So, and at that time I had an artist from the West Coast named It's Alive, and he was from Watts, California. And I just felt like those three fit: Stretch, Tupac, and then It's Alive. And then Keith Murray came to my house, and I played that for him. And he was like, yo, G, I want to get on that. I want to get on that. So before I released it, it was Stretch, Tupac, Keith Murray. No, It's Alive, then Keith Murray. And that was the original song that I did with Tupac. So when he left,
wow.
so when he left the studio, that after that, I didn't see him no more. And then I wake up like 1 o'clock in the morning. I have a habit of sleeping with my TV on. I don't know why. I sleep with my TV on. When I woke, I start seeing flashing lights while I'm sleeping. Wake up, and it was the news saying Tupac got shot. Crazy. You know what I mean? I was scared to death because I was like, I just didn't. I hope he know that I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm supposed to curse or anything, but
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. So, but I didn't. I was scared, to be honest, and I was telling my manager, I was like, "Yo, I didn't want nobody to think I had something to do with that because we had some goons, you know what I mean? But we wasn't. We loved Tupac and Biggie, you know what I mean? So it was just a thing where a day later, my house was flooded with detectives. My studio. They was at my door.
Wow.
They was at my doorstep asking me 1,000 questions. Who, what, how, why, who are you, why, and it was very like emotionally troubling for me at the time. It took me at least a good month to kind of like pull myself back together through all that, because I was just like mentally like drained from answering all these questions, and I'm just like, I don't know that, man. I'm a DJ, you know what I mean? And that's where it went.